In the headlines, ahead of Eid al-Kabir, price of rams records increase as buyers lament. Tinubu spokesman says presidential candidate did not meet with Wike in France. First ship berths at $1.5 billion Lekki deep sea port discharges 13 cranes. And on the foreign scene, at least 5 killed in magnitude 6.1 earthquake in southern Iran. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Moving on to the news, insecurity coupled with cost of transportation due to rising diesel price are set to be responsible for the increase in the cost of rams. Ram sellers is one of the animal markets in Kaduna made the assertion in an interview with Trust TV. The report.
Zango is a popular market in Tudunwada community in Kaduna metropolis where animals such as goats, rams and cows are sold. During festive seasons such as Eid al-Kabir, which is commemorated by Muslims around the world with the slaughtering of either a ram, cow or camel, animal markets such as Zango become a beehive of activities as intending buyers besiege the area in search of the best rams for a reasonable price. However, with rams going for as high as 400,000 naira this year, multiple factors are said to be responsible for the hike that has made the purchase of rams almost beyond the reach of the common man.
The price of the ram starts from 50,000 up to 400,000. The price is high compared to the previous year because some rams were sold at the cost of between 3 and 400,000. The price is high this year, but we pray for God's intervention.
Security challenges, exorbitant exchange rates and cost of transportation are said to be responsible for this year's hike, as many of the animals are bought from neighboring Niger Republic and transported into Nigerian market.
Insecurity is the factor affecting the price. Transport fare has gone up due to persistent increase in the price of gas, so it affects the business. We buy them from Niger Republic and the exchange rate has gone higher.
The few buyers spotted at the market who spoke off the camera said the prices are unimaginably high, but say because of the significance of the Islamic festival, they may have no option but to buy the rams.
Presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, did not meet with Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike in France, a spokesperson said on Friday. Reports had emerged online about a supposed meeting between Tinubu and Wike, a chieftain of the opposition party, the People's Democratic Party. But a statement signed by a spokesperson of the Tinubu media office, Tunde Rahman, described the reports as fake. The federal government has inaugurated the White Paper Committee on Review of Parastatals, agencies and commissions created since 2014 to date. The committee is to come up with the white paper reports of the committees inaugurated by the federal government in November 2021. Performing the inauguration on Friday in Abuja, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustapha, explained that the federal government came up with 2 other committees due to the inability to implement the Orosanye reports. Responding on behalf of the committee members, a former head of civil service of the Federation and chairman of the committee, Dr. Ebele Okeke, appreciated the federal government for the honor of selecting them for the task and pledged to ensure the implementation of the reports.
One of such efforts was the constitution of the Committee on the Restructuring and Rationalization of Federal Government Parastatals Commissions and Agencies on the 18th of August 2011, chaired by the former head of service, Mr. Steve Orasaya. The committee submitted its report on the 16th April 2012 with various recommendations such as abolition, reduction, merger, and reversion of some of the agencies to departments and ministries.
And since then, more and more agencies, commissions, parastatals are being set up. And it's actually defeating the purpose for which government set up the Orosaya report. And that is why now government wants us to take a good look and make sure that we finish and have a review the report on the new parastatals and agencies.
The Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the release of the official details of an alleged organ donor to former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu and his wife Beatrice. Justice Inyang Ekwo, who gave the order in a judgment delivered on Friday, directed the Nigerian Immigration Service, the National Identity Management Commission, and 2 commercial banks to release the details in their possession to the couple. By the court order, all official information in relation to the donor, including the account opening package, are to be released to Senator Ekweremadu and his wife to ascertain his real age. This followed an originating summons filed by Senator Ekweremadu and his wife through their counsel and senior advocate of Nigeria, Adeboyega Awomolo. The couple are being detained by the United Kingdom authorities over allegations of conspiring to bring a child to Britain for organ harvesting, with the donor said to be the victim.
Or give himself 50 years of age, whereas all the official records of government, the official records of banks show that as at 2019, 2020, he was 21. Also, it's more than 21 now. So it is only right and proper for them to educate and inform the British authorities of the correct age of the gentleman. But the truth of the matter is that under the Constitution, our own Constitution, Federal Republic of Nigeria, they are entitled to be given facilities to defend themselves. And that right, inure to them under the Constitution, can be availed anywhere in the world.
Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Salih says his state is one of the safest in the country despite security challenges posed by bandits and Dar es Salaam Group. Appearing on 30 Minutes, a Trust TV interactive program, Salih explained how the state secured the release of a local council chairman 24 hours after his abduction, saying security is receiving the needed attention.
Dar es Salaam that almost turned to be Boko Haram, at the border with Abuja. We had a joint operation of the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, police, vigilante, and all of them came and we dislodged them. And at the end of the day, we took hostage of their wives and children, more than 900 people, and then completely wiped them out of the place. So you will continue to receive a little bit of this, but one thing that we have become very, very alert about is to, the moment there is any sign of insecurity, we have decided to fund our forces. Our security agencies have been very cooperative. With the little resources we have, we make sure that we provide them with the resources they need, with the tools that they need, with everything that we believe they require, so that they can go ahead and go out to the field. And they have been very kind to us. So, and also I want to always use the opportunity each time I talk about security to thank Mr. President, because of the importance of the proximity with the federal capital, Nasarawa State has also had the advantage of having some security installations.
The full interview will be aired on Monday on Trust TV. Police in Gombe have arrested 5 suspects over alleged criminal conspiracy and kidnapping. Parading the suspects, the command's public relations officer, Mahid Muazu, said one kidnapped victim was rescued. Ibrahim Ismail has the report.
On the 23rd of June this year, the police outpost in Kashere received a report of the kidnapping of a 45-year-old man, Isa Maiduna, and immediately swung into action to effect his release.
The detectives, together with the hunters of Kashere trail the kidnappers along the routes to their hideout and engage them in a gun duel, and succeeded in neutralizing one and arrested 4 suspects above. Due to the superior firepower of the security agents, the kidnappers took to their heels and abandoned the victim, who was rescued by the team.
A member of the syndicate that specializes in kidnapping said he got involved in the act for financial gains.
I was involved in the raid, but they took him away.
One of the suspects who sustained injuries in an encounter with the police later died in the hospital. The command also arrested 3 members of a vigilante group over alleged assault and attempt to rape a woman, and another 25-year-old man suspected to have raped a 6-year-old girl.
We didn't rape her. We found her tied. We didn't, but she was beaten.
In another development, 3 suspects were paraded over possession of counterfeit currency. All the suspects, according to the police, will be charged to court. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
On a sad note, Olori Kafayat, one of the wives of the late Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Olaiwola Adeyemi, is dead. Kafayat, who died barely 2 months after the death of the Alaafin, was the 4th Olori of the late traditional ruler and reportedly gave up the ghost on Friday night. She was the mother of Prince Adebayo Adeyemi, who is the chairman of the Oyo State Local Government Pensions Board. Details of her death are still sketchy. You're watching Trust News Update, coming up after the break. Indiscriminate dumping of refuse worries traditional ruler. Do stay with us.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels. Leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining us, you're watching Trust News Update. Let's take a look at some of our major stories. We told you that ahead of Eid al-Kabir, price of rams record increase as buyers lament. We also told you that Tinubu spokesman says presidential candidate did not meet with Wike in France. Moving on, a group of Muslims under the aegis of Igbo Muslims Dawah from the southeast region of the country has launched the Holy Quran translated to Igbo language. The group, led by the chief translator, Murita Lachukwu Emeka, said the need to spread the message of Islam to the southeast to enable more acceptance and practice of Islam birthed the idea of translating the Muslims' holy book into Igbo. Trust TV's Aisha Salih reports that the Igbo translated Quran has gained recognition and commendation.
The native Igbo speakers have minority Muslims and to narrow the gap and accommodate more Muslims from the ethnic group has given the rise to a 5-year project of translation of the Holy Quran into the native language.
Well, we feel so grateful, we feel so happy that finally this has come to stay. It's a project that is long anticipated, and Alhamdulillah, today it's been accomplished to see Quran being translated in Igbo language. Of course, you agree with me, people from the Igbo community, so to speak, from Muslim minority background, and the message of Quran being translated in their local language will go a long way to inform them about what the religion is all about.
I want to actually say thank you and congratulate him for the effort. We appreciate him so much, and we are very happy for the job done. At least it could be a milestone for the other translation.
Although with success recorded in its publication, there has been calls for more reviews of the Igbo translated Quran in a bid to not distort the original Arabic meaning.
It doesn't give the meaning, the real Arabic meaning that it was revealed. Just like for instance, the word Unso Quran. Unso means other things. And translating from English to Arabic or to Igbo, it reads Holy Quran. Supposedly.
In as much as I'm here to read the entire pages, but a few verses that I've been able to access, I can assure you that the message is deep and it really captures the real meaning of the real interpretation of the Quran in English and in Arabic language.
The project is said to have recorded a tremendous success within the southeastern communities.
We intended to do this launching in order to get so many copies to use it to spread Islam, because we use it in a way of giving them free of charge, not for sale, in Igbo land. So when they see it, we have did 50 copies last time, we share in Igbo land. After we share it, 24 people accept Islam.
Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
District Head of Ungwamba in Gigi community in Bauchi Metropolis, Ibrahim Bunu, has condemned the indiscriminate dumping of refuse within parts of the metropolis. He made this assertion when the Bauchi Environmental Protection Agency visited the community for awareness on the dangers of dumping refuse on major highways. Adamu Imam completes the report.
The district head, who frowned at some members of the community who are not ready to comply with government directives against dumping refuse within the metropolis, warned them to desist forthwith or face the wrath of the law.
It's very unfortunate. The people of our community have disappointed me, and definitely the action that the Basepa is going to be taken to them, that definitely is correct, and I am supporting it. I would not like my place to be exempted, or to be one of the dirtiest area in Bauchi town. So I'm very, very happy that Basay have come and see it, saw it here, and then they will take action very seriously to curtail, to prevent, and then stop all this act of inheritance in my community.
Leader of Awala Junction area, Muhammad Abdullahi, called for the provision of waste disposal bins to enable the community handle waste appropriately. I complained to the officials that we have a challenge with proper dumping of refuse because the drum we kept for refuse collection was stolen. So I'm appealing that Basepa should help us by providing a proper waste disposal bin here at Awala Junction, because thieves will not allow the drum we use to stay. At the awareness campaign rally around the Bauchi Metropolis, the Environmental Protection Agency again warned against indiscriminate dumping of refuse, saying that those caught will be dealt with according to the law.
We are going to evacuate it now to safeguard the public house, but we are not going to intervene. We are not going to do that. Because if we have to close all the shops until we are able to find out among them from this west.
In the meantime, the state lawmakers are currently working on the environmental laws which spell out sanction for defaulters. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Moving to business, ahead of the commencement of commercial operation of the $1.5 billion Lekki Deep Sea Port in September this year, the Nigerian Ports Authority on Friday received the first ever vessel, a Zenhua 28, to berth at the port. The ship also brought 3 ships to shore cranes and 10 rubber-tired gantry cranes. Speaking at the event, Managing Director of NPA, Mohammed Bello Koko, said Lekki Port, when fully operational, will be the first fully automated port in Nigeria. Chairman Lekki Port, Abiodun Dabiri, who stated that the port will become operational before the end of the year, added that the delivery of the evacuation equipment will make Nigeria a shipping hub in West and Central Africa. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has threatened to drag the management of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to court over its purported claims on the payment of 74 billion naira transport claims to marketers. The management of NMDPRA on Wednesday said it had paid marketers 74 billion naira within the past 7 months. The chairman, IPMAN Northern Chapter, Bashir Malam, who made the threat while briefing journalists in Kano, said the claim was not true, noting that IPMAN members were not paid unless the payment was made to ghost marketers. The IPMAN chairman challenged the management of the NMDPRA to come up with the names of all the marketers who were paid to prove their claims. Malam said based on the investigation conducted by IPMAN, it was discovered that the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation had recently released over 70 billion naira to the agency to pay marketers, which had yet to be paid. Nigeria and Portugal have signed several memoranda of understanding for cooperation in different sectors. The signing ceremony was done on Friday in Lisbon by cabinet-level officials from the 2 countries as part of President Muhammadu Buhari's state visit to the European Union country. A presidential spokesman, Garba Shehu, said President Buhari and the Prime Minister of Portugal, Antonio Costa, witnessed the signing ceremony. The MOUs signed include political consultations, diplomatic training, research, and the exchange of information and documentation, cooperation in the field of culture, cooperation in the field of women and girls development, empowerment and gender affairs, as well as youth and sports.
Well, they are very significant because the 2 MOUs that we signed on diplomatic relations and consultations and political relations and consultations are agreements that can actually form the basis and the foundation for coordinating all the agreements that we have. And we're hoping that with the political and diplomatic consultations agreement, that we will be able to establish either a joint commission or a mechanism for cooperation and coordination, so that we will be meeting on a regular basis all the parties and sectors on the Nigerian side and all the parties and sectors on the Portuguese side.
Well, I think that the 2 MOUs we signed today, one on youth and one on sport, both of them are very significant. First, because this is the first time we're signing separate MOUs for youth, a separate for youth and a separate for sport, which gives credence to the fact that this MOU will have the kind of depth that we expect. The focus on youth will be to make sure there's an exchange program between the youth in Portugal and the youth in Nigeria, but also to leverage on the areas of entrepreneurship, the area of startups, the area of ICT and the digital economy.
Germany on Friday signed an agreement to begin sending hundreds of Benin bronzes back to the federal government, rubber-stamping the biggest effort yet by a European country to return the looted artworks. Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock and Culture Minister Claudia Roth signed the deal with their Nigerian counterparts in Berlin after Germany first announced that it would begin returning the bronzes last year. Minister of Culture Lai Mohammed thanked Germany for taking the lead in correcting the wrongs of the past, hailing it as the dawn of a new era of cooperation. Germany has around 1,100 of the 16th to 18th century artifacts split between some 20 museums, with the biggest collection held by the Ethnological Museum in Berlin, which has 440, considered the most important collection outside London's British Museum. On the foreign scene, at least 5 people have died and dozens of others injured after at least 3 earthquakes with a preliminary magnitude of more than 6 hit the province of Hormozgan in southern Iran. 2 of the strongest shocks were registered at magnitude 6.3, but the one that inflicted all the casualties is thought to be an initial magnitude 6.1 quake at a depth of about 10 kilometers below the surface. At least 30 aftershocks were felt in the villages and towns near Bandar Abbas, local officials said, adding that tremors were also felt in the neighboring United Arab Emirates. The quake sent thousands of people into the streets, where they spent the rest of the night. And finally, in sports, the Professional Footballers Association of Nigeria, Eggheads, on Friday endorsed former Super Eagles striker Benedict Akpogbu as replacement for Nigerian Football Federation President Amaju Pinnick. The Warri-born FIFA Council member had in several fora declared that he will not contest for the same position he is holding. Akpogbu, 47, at the flag-off ceremony, was the first ex-player endorsed by 5 top executives of the Players' Union. Elated, Akpogbu stated that it is high time players take charge of what belongs to them from the politicians. And with this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.